see everybody on
But
the
it's
camera.
basically,
Then you'll just minus that out.
You just like
Go back to
politic
your
your way
settings,
around the
but
room,
it's
sir.
showing why it should pop up. There you go. And you know that you're ready. And this is where you'll leave it. We'll leave it on YouTube. I've already passed the microphones and went through.
2 minutes.
You're done. Until once the call for roll, if it were ready and continuity. If this is you can pretty much see everybody on the camera. And if you can periodically check your, to make sure this is recording, et cetera. And also, this has a view spot. There it is. So you can video all three areas. The recording, YouTube, and live streaming for the QPLS thing that I call QPLS, which it isn't. But this is the only one where there's interaction. So sometimes I'll put to let the public know what we're having.
yeah, this is the only one. This one didn't.
And then I get feedback, it'll show who's viewing on here.
Extra glasses for me?
There's a 45-minute delay. So please introduce yourself.
They're just readers.
Okay.
Because you're nameless,
You can keep, you want to keep them?
but you do have a face.
You can just leave this one
Well,
here since that was.
that's good.
You can keep those ones, that's good.
Just waiting for 1:30 to click around. Are we ready? All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Town of Mangonia Park Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing for January 23rd, 2024. According to Verizon, it's 1:30, so I can get started. My name's Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. First thing we're going to do is swear everyone in. So everyone, please raise your right hand. Say, I do, and we're done. Does everyone swear or affirm the testimony they're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say, I do. I do. Very good. Everyone knows their right from their left. That's a good start. All right, most of our hearings are going to be code violation hearings. In that case, when you hear your name being called, pop on up to the podium. The attorney will show you some documents they want to admit into evidence. You can object, you can allow them. They will present their case. You get to present yours. That flips when we hit the fine reduction hearings. Those people have been through a violation hearing and a fine assessment hearing. They are asking for relief, so they get to go first, and then the village gets, or the town gets to respond. I think I've hit all the highlights, so please take it away, Town of Mangonia.
Thank you, Special Magistrate Amity Barnard for the record, Town Attorney. We're starting on the agenda with fine reduction hearings, case 2023-44. The violation address is 1612 Paxton Avenue, Mangonia Park, Florida. The owner is Trudy K. Salmon. Are you here? Okay.
Yes, sister of. Had to make friends somewhere.
She goes first in this one. Can you give the magistrate your name for the record, ma'am?
Yes, my name is Zaria Nicole Johnson. I am Trudy Salmon's little sister, here on her behalf.
Spell your first name.
Zaria.
Thank you. And Special Magistrate, just for your recollection, your previous order assessing fine in this case was dated October 24th, 2023, and the fine amount was $1,500.
Plus $96.60 in administrative costs.
Plus an additional $100.20 from the previous hearing was also reaffirmed.
So that's plus or minus $1,700. All right, ma'am, like I said, you go first and the town gets to go second. The easy question is, why should it be reduced?
Okay. My sister actually sent me a letter that she wrote for you guys. I would be able to read that out to you.
Okay, is her microphone working?
It is, but I can't hear
Hello?
You're
There,
very
that's good, perfect.
soft-spoken. You need
Yeah,
to
I'm sorry.
public speak yourself up here.
Gotcha. So good afternoon, and thank you all for your time in revisiting this matter. I want to start by saying the misunderstanding of where my property ends is my oversight. The delay in responding to these notices is also my responsibility. For those clear reasons and the hearings taking up your time, I fully understand. Fines and fees are appropriate, and I will certainly pay them. I humbly ask that you strongly consider extending kindness and grace in my direction, as I grew up in Palm Beach County, but have lived in Northern California since 2016. My rental property is managed by a management company, and the water bill is forwarded from the city directly to my home in California. However, USPS mail goes to Paxton address, goes to a Paxton address, and is eventually mailed to me by my local family, because usually the correspondence are junk mail. I rectify the mailing address to be forwarded. She will rectify the mailing address to be forwarded to California by USPS and eliminate missing important correspondences in the future. I've lived in California for 4 years and have sat on the Homeowners Association as a board member for 2 of these years. I understand the importance and have personally enforced the importance of the neighborhood members maintaining their properties. I share that to say that violation is not frivolous to me. It won't happen again. I respect and appreciate the work and efforts you all have made to rectify in this situation. I welcomed my first child into the world on January 5th while working full-time and managing pregnancy. I truly put the needs of managing my home in Florida on the back burner, and I did not fully recognize the gravity of the violations. I also was not comfortable traveling to Florida during my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Again, I take fullest responsibility for the oversight on my part, not recognizing the full property extent to which I needed to maintain my lawn. I have owned the property for 1 full year as of December 16th, 2023. The remainder of my lawn has always been maintained. I ask that you please do consider any fine and fee reductions you may offer, for this is my first and last offense. Be blessed and encouraged always. Best, Trudy Salmon.
Okay.
Can I get her name again for the record? I didn't hear it.
Zaria Nicole Johnson.
Can you repeat it?
Zaria Nicole Johnson.
Okay, thank you.
Isn't that Dwayne Wade's youngest daughter? I'm pretty sure. Miami Heat basketball fan, sorry. All right, so you've asked for, you don't have an amount in mind, you're just saying please?
Whatever she's gracious for as far as reducing the fine.
Okay.
She didn't specify an amount.
Just clarifying, and what does the town say?
So the town is not in support of a reduction, but as is always the case, you are the one with the authority to reduce based on what you've heard here today. So I don't have a number to give you today, as the town is not supportive of reduction.
Okay. All right, so I'm human. You know? I gotta do math. I'm trying to reduce it by half, so someone needs to check my math. I think I came out with $1,696.80 when you add up the fines and the administrative costs and divided by 2. Everyone's got the calculator out. 1696.8 divided by 2. I had 843, that's why I made people do me math. All right, I'll take it down by half based upon her failure to get the correspondence in a timely manner. Hopefully the postal forwarding will now get her that, and hopefully her management company and a lawn service will take care of any future problems. Okay?
All right, thank you so much.
Can you repeat the number, I'm sorry, Special Magistrate?
848.40.
And that would be payable by,
Pick me a date 60 days in the future.
so that would be March, let me just make sure March 23rd is not a holiday. I mean, a weekend, yeah, March 22nd.
Okay.
What was the date, please?
March
3/22.
22nd.
848.40?
Correct. got a wife and 2 kids, you know?
Thank you so much.
So, all right. Next case, please. You'll get an order, or she'll get an order in the mail. You can't make the payment until the order's signed.
Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Case 2023-45 is being pulled from the agenda. Moving now to violation hearings on the page 2, case 2023-49. The violation address is 1785 Hill Avenue. The respondent is Pinnacle Tower Acquisitions LLC, and I'll have Officer Scott present the case.
Good afternoon, Special Magistrate. My name is Darian Scott. I am the code officer for the town of Mangonia Park. I'm presenting case number 2023-49. Name of the owners is Pinnacle Towers Acquisition LLC. The address of the violation is 1785 Hill Ave in Mangonia Park, Florida. The violation was improper outdoor storage in violation of Appendix A, Section 7. And on December 1st, the notice of violation, notice of hearing, was mailed via regular mail, certified, and posted at the property and posted at Town Hall. We did receive a green card return, no signature.
Did you also post the property in Town Hall?
Yes,
On what dates?
December 1st.
Okay, thank you. And you said the green card was returned to the town. It was returned as if it had been signed for, but there was just no signature, is that right?
Yeah, it wasn't signed, but it was returned.
Okay, and what was the date that you first observed the violation?
November 28th.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
November 28th.
Sounds like Thanksgiving. All right, who's here for Pinnacle Towers Acquisition LLC? All right, come on down. First thing you get to do is identify yourself for the record, so tell us your name and your position with Pinnacle Towers Acquisition LLC.
My name is Sean Collier. I am a supervisor of warehouse operations for Crown Castle. Pinnacle Towers is a subsidiary of Crown Castle.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the town would like to enter into the record. I'm going to show them to you and then ask you if you have any objections. On the right side here is the affidavit of posting. Thank you. So the notice documents for today's hearing. This is verification of ownership, just showing Pinnacle Towers owns the site. Duplicate of that. On the left side, the green card that was returned without signature. The notice of violation, the notice of hearing, and the photographs. Any objections to these? Let me just go through these documents. And then there was one that was a year one.
Okay.
The only other thing was the cost recovery sheet for today's hearing. Any objections to these documents being entered?
No.
All right, admitted without objection. There we go. So you say you have a unsigned green card because our post office quit writing COVID-19 on these things when they didn't get a signature. You also have an affidavit of posting, so you have double service really. Let me see what the pictures look like. Looks like somewhere I could drive my Jeep.
And just a little bit before you hear from the respondent, Special Magistrate, just so you're clear, as Officer Scott indicated, this is an outdoor storage violation. The respondent was before the town council and received approval for outdoor storage. However, there were some conditions placed on that approval that have to be complied with within 60 days. So until those conditions are satisfied, technically they have not been fully approved for the
Okay,
outdoor storage.
So they have a conditional approval.
Correct. So
So we have a violation hearing that we're going to do what with?
give them enough time
60
for the 60 days,
or
exactly.
whatever it
Yep.
is.
Yep, just to ensure that they stay on track. I don't have any reason to think that they won't, but just because it wasn't a straight approval from the town council, we're asking today for you to require compliance by March 18th, or appear at the March 26th fine assessment hearing, or a $250 a day fine. And then our administrative costs for today are in the case file in the amount of 10210. Yeah, 10210, thank you.
All right, Mr. Collier, what do you say?
As stated, we went before the town on Tuesday, and we did get the approval. We've already begun complying with those conditions, and we're fine with coming back before you guys and proving that we are a company of our word, and we will take care of the conditions and cleaning up of the yard. We're also sourcing a vendor for our landscaping needs and ongoing maintenance.
Okay. Looks like a big pickup sticks game here.
Yes.
So, all right. I will grant the town's request to have the violation cured by March 18th, or if not, you will come back in front of me on the 26th of March and face up to a $250 a day fine. I also affirm the $102 and $2.10 worth of costs, and I'll sign an order to that effect. I don't know where this is going to be mailed back to. Do you need a copy of your also? Because this is going to send.
You can give the code officer a business card if you have a business card, so that you get a copy of this order
Okay.
as well, if
They'll
it's going
email
to
it
a
you
corporate
or do
address.
something.
Yeah.
Because this looks like it's going back to somewhere in Pennsylvania, and
Pennsylvania.
you may not see it for a
Correct.
month, and it may get lost in your mail when we deal with these types of company things all the time. So you may want to give the code officer a card or give him a contact later so we can send you a copy as well.
Will do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next, please.
Before we go to next, we're having problems hearing you on this side, all three of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're old over here, so.
All right, talk louder yourself. Got it.
Next case is case 2023-50. The violation address is 1601 Hill Avenue. The respondent is Avid 1601 Hill Owner LLC, and 258, no, I'm sorry, that's it. Avid 1601 Hill Owner LLC, and I'll have Officer Scott present the case.
Good afternoon. My name is Darian Scott. I am the code officer for the town of Mangonia Park, and I'm presenting case number 2023-50 at, the owners are Avid 1601 Hill Owner LLC, and the address is, I'll give a PCN number because it's a parking lot, 44-43-43-05-16-000-0010.
Okay.
And the violation is outdoor storage, Appendix A, 7, Section 7. On November 30th, 2023, the attached notice of violation and notice of hearing was mailed via regular mail, certified mail, and on November 30th, the notice of violation and notice of hearing was also posted on the property and out at Town Hall. We did not receive a green card returned or signed, but we did have the business owner reach out via phone call.
Yes, in Royal Palm, they like to call that actual service.
And you also posted, is that correct?
Yes, posted
And
that.
can you give the magistrate the dates of your posting?
November 30th was posted, the notice of violation and notice of hearing was posted on the property and at Town Hall.
Okay. And it seems to have worked because we have a person here, so
Yep.
please
And as-
continue.
As of today, is a violation, what's the status of the violation as of today?
Technically, the violation still exists on the property, because they weren't approved, for outside door storage. So the, material is still on the property.
And do you have photographs in the case file showing what you observed?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Anything further for the magistrate?
Yeah.
No, you're going to show it to the,
Is there, who's here on this one? Very good, ma'am, thank you.
all right, come on down to the microphone, and please give us your name loudly.
Thank you, Special Magistrate. Good afternoon, everyone. Elizabeth Fernandez of Gonzalez, Schenkman, and Buckstein. I'm here on behalf of Avid 1601 Hill Owner LLC, the owner of the property, and I'm also here on behalf of the tenant, Artificial Grass Warehouse, who I understand was before the town council last week on the outdoor storage permit.
Let me ask you to pause there before you continue, and I'll show you these documents. Sorry, this is a little hard with this slanted thing. documents that the town would like to enter into the evidentiary case file, into the record. On the right side is the affidavit of posting for the notice documents, the cost recovery sheet for today's hearing. On the left is the notice of violation. Set this down. Notice of hearing, verification of ownership, showing who owns the property. Tax collector, same thing, verification of ownership. Photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered into the record?
No objections.
All right, admitted without objection. Check the notice and the photos. All right, you have your affidavit of posting, you talk to the owner. So you do have service. We have here. This is just a very popular spot on Hill Avenue. Okay, so we had another application for outdoor storage, and what happened to that?
It is my understanding that the outdoor storage permit was denied last week by the town council. As the site plan, it's my understanding that the site plan for that parking lot and the adjacent commercial property that's right across requires a set of numbered parking spots be outlined and delineated. It's my understanding that the tenant is using all of the parking lot for storage and staging of their artificial turf, which, as you saw in the photos, is quite large. And I also did have the pleasure of going to Hill Avenue earlier before the hearing to see it myself, and there is quite a bit. So my understanding is that because the site plan for that property requires a set number of parking spots be allocated for the commercial property of which it overflows to, the outdoor storage permit was denied. However, like I said, I am here on behalf of the landlord and the tenant. They are both united in their efforts to comply with the code violation. They have shown a good faith effort in complying. The tenant did apply for a local business tax receipt. They did also request the outdoor storage permit. It's my understanding that because the site plan requires certain spaces to be allocated and vacant, that's why the permit was denied, which is why we are here graciously asking for a brief extension of time so that we can remove all of the rolls of artificial grass and turf that are currently being staged. As you saw, it is quite voluminous, very large, will undertake a significant amount of time and energy and effort, which unfortunately we could not come to comply with before today's hearing. We are just asking for a brief reprieve so that we can go ahead and comply. Like I said, we are in the best position, in the best intentions to comply with the town's requirements. Fortunately, it was an oversight that both the landlord and the tenant were not aware of, but they are making every effort to comply with the town's requirements.
And the town says?
And the town says, just one clarification, then I'll ask if Manager Metcalf has anything to add, but she's correct. They were also before the town council last week on Tuesday on the 16th of January. Just one clarification, what she said is correct. The 1601 Hill property, the main building is on the north side of Hill Avenue. It's a humongous building. That parking lot is part of the required site plan with the main building that's across the street, which is a bit atypical, but it does contain required parking spaces for the size of the building. The other reason, which wasn't mentioned, is that outdoor storage is only approved under the town code as an ancillary use to a business. The person who's using this parking lot for their AstroTurf does not have a lease in the main building across the street. There's no affiliation with the building across the street. So whether or not the parking is site planned and required doesn't change the fact that there's no affiliation. So there can't be an outside storage use if you're not leasing property in the main building. There are several reasons for that, which were sort of discussed at the council meeting, but one of which is there's no bathroom facilities on the parking lot that's being used. There's no building, there's a storage container that's being used, but no facilities. So I just wanted you to be clear about that, and then I'll ask the manager if he has anything to add with regard to what was communicated with the owner or their real estate agent or whoever it was.
Your Honor, and I regret that I don't have the date, but years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, when the for lease sign went up near the property, I was concerned that the realtor at the time was trying to lease the parking lot as a standalone rental. So I called him, Mr. Christopher Thompson, and because I know him from another endeavor, and I indicated to him that the parking lot alone could not be leased. It had to be, you know, part of another usage. So while the new owner may not have been aware, their property manager or their realtor was made aware of this sometime back.
Okay. Well, it sounds like that there's no entitlement for the artificial turf person to be storing anything anywhere if they don't have a business across the street.
And this
That's just
is a
site planning-
violation.
Site planning 101 too. I mean, you know, if you want to build a 100,000 square foot building that requires a parking space for every 100 or every 1,000 spaces or square feet, you're going to need 100 parking spaces. I mean, that's just math. And everyone tries to put up the biggest building they can to maximize their return on their rentals. So, you know.
And the only thing I failed to mention to you, Special Magistrate, is her request is for some time. This is a violation hearing, so we're willing to give some time.
Oh, yeah, no, that's, believe me, I looked at the photos and there are rolls and rolls and rolls of artificial turf. And I used to think artificial turf would be the saving of humanity until I realized and read articles about all the microfibers coming off the artificial turfs and how they degrade quickly, and they're getting booted in places like Arizona.
Mhm.
So unless you're a playground or you want to ruin some college athlete's knees, artificial turf ain't the best thing around these days. So, but be that as it may, this is the time you get time. So what times are we looking at? 60 days, 90 days? Because that's
We were asking
big into-
for 30. It looks like a lot, but they move in pretty quickly and move out pretty quickly. So we're asking for a 30-day timeline.
And the respondent is asking for
90 days, Special Magistrate.
So that sounds like 60 to me in the best of all possible worlds. So let's get them 60 out, and we'll have a nice, healthy $250 a day fine if they miss that.
So that would be the same dates in the previous hearing: compliance by May 18th or March 18th, March 26th, or 250.
And can we have clarity on the application for, that was submitted for outside storage as well as the business tax receipt, with it being revoked because it's not attached? On the original application, it states that they were located at 1601 Hill Avenue, which would automatically qualify to apply for a business tax receipt, and that they paid that fee and they're not getting their license. Do they have the right to request those funds back?
So that can be a separate conversation. Business tax
Yeah, that's
receipts are
more
not
an
regulatory, so I would
administrative deal with
expect
the
not,
town
but
and
we
your-
can talk about that.
Your permitting rather than the code enforcement board's, you know,
And-
jurisdiction.
Your Honor, along those lines, just a question that the applicant would understand that they would not be operating their business during those 60 days. So we're,
That's more of a town attorney question than it is a code enforcement special magistrate
with
question,
the
so.
BTR, business tax receipt, being revoked, they
Well,
could not,
technically, there's no revocation. Business tax receipts are not regulatory, so it's just you pay the fee, you get issued the business tax receipt. I think the 60 days is intended, just so you're clear and you can communicate this to your client, to Manager Metcalf's point. It's not to continue operations. It's to use the 60 days to get the artificial turf rolls off the site, right? You don't have approval for the outside storage, so just beware. Although this case is limited to strictly what's there now, if the use continues, you may be back on another case.
I
So
understand.
to that point, the time is for you to get the materials off the site,
Yeah,
not to
right now, it's
continue
an
operating.
outside storage case. Right now, it's not operating without a proper business tax receipt because you do not have a physical location across the street in a building, as opposed to a parking lot that's an accessory that was just used to jack up the size of the building.
I understand.
Okay. I will sign that order, granted.
And that included our administrative costs, is that correct?
102.10, yes.
Thank you, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, please.
Next is 2023-54, 1100 48th Street. Mavis E. Smith Trust is a respondent, and I'll have Officer Scott present the case.
Good afternoon, Special Magistrate. My name is Darian Scott. I'm the Code Enforcement Officer for the Town of Magonia Park, and I am presenting case number 2023-54, Mavis E. Trust Smith. The tenant is Mr. Lopez Landscaping at the address for the property is 1100 48th Street, Magonia Park, Florida. And as you can see, improper outdoor storage is the popular one for this month. Appendix A.
We've got a theme.
Section 7, Appendix A, Section 7. And on December 13th, the notice of violation and notice of hearing was mailed regular mail and certified mail. Also, on December 13th, the notice of violation and notice of hearing was posted at the property and at Town Hall as well. We did not receive a return green card, but the owner of the lot did reach out and was explaining that the lot was being cleared.
And just a couple of questions. Was there also a violation observed of section 27-16?
Oh, yes, I
Can you
apologize.
explain the magistrate that violation?
Yes, also Article 2, Section 27-16. The lot is being used by a landscaping company, so tree limbs, dead debris, and things like that were accumulating on the property as well.
All right, and that is not a issue today because?
It is part of his violation. It
It
is
is.
part
It
of
is.
today.
Yeah,
And you'll
I
see
do.
photos to that effect. Do you have photographs in the case
Yes,
file?
I do.
Okay,
Yes, I
very
do.
good. All right, is the respondent present?
All right, please tell us who you are.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Mavis E. Smith.
All right.
I'm the property owner at, I don't even know the address. 1100 48th Street, vacant lot that my husband and I purchased about 10 years ago, but he passed on. He bought this lot thinking he's going to put some kind of storage out there, and he was in construction, and so he was going to park his equipment out there. But he passed on.
Let me ask you to pause right there. Let me show you these documents, and then you can.
Okay.
The whole rest.
Let me get my glasses so I can see them.
I've got some extras here.
All right, this is the evidentiary case file the town would like to enter into the record. On the right side is the affidavit of mailing for the notice documents for today's hearing. On the right side is the notice, left side, is the notice of violation, the notice of hearing. Verification of ownership, just showing that you own the property. And then this is the same thing from the tax collector's website, showing that you own the property.
Okay.
Photographs taken by the code officer. Code officer's making it hard for me today with these staples.
Okay.
For that, this is the signed green card that came back to the town.
I mean, I didn't sign it, but it came back.
Okay, that's not your signature? Somebody at your house must have signed
I don't know what the mailman doing nowadays.
it. And the only other one is the cost recovery sheet. Any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. Let me see some tree limbs. So, all right, if you have service via posting and a signed green card and talking to the individual who owns the property so we can proceed. We have, oh, these are nice, it's big chunks.
You know, he's a lawn maintenance person. I don't know why he would dump his load on the property.
Because he wants to avoid the tipping fee at the dump.
Well, I'm in the process of getting him to vacate the property, and so we have already started to clean it off. I was just doing a good deed because he does my lawn, and he was going to park his trucks out there, and then all of a sudden it just blew up. You know, he
Well,
started dumping
some
his-
people tend to take advantage
take
of a
advantage of
kindness.
it, so I'm just gonna leave it vacant, so if I can get extended time on this to get him off,
Well,
you know.
I've painted myself into a corner, so. And
Just need a
I am
little
not
bit
going to
more
make
time.
you different than anybody else I've already given extended time to. So And it's gonna make it real easy for Ms. Barnard to do all these violation orders because they're gonna have the same time as everyone. I'm just gonna knock down the fine amount to about 100 a day instead of the 5, just because it's not nearly as big or as blatant as the other ones are.
Thank you.
So you have till 3/18 to have it cleared. And I should have said this a long time ago, and I apologize to the people who've left. But as soon as it's cleared, please call the code enforcement
Okay.
officer. They want to put a affidavit of compliance on your file that proves that you did the right thing in the right amount of time.
Okay.
I have literally watched people fixing things as I've driven home from meetings, but it would not count unless I saw it or someone from the municipality saw it and put a note in their file. So please do that when it's
Okay,
cleared.
will do.
So 318, 326, 100 is granted.
And also the
100 and 210?
102, yeah, and 10
Because that's
cents, please.
everybody. I could have had a stamp made. All right, and I will sign that order, and it will be mailed to you, and hopefully you'll get everything cleared out. And so I'd say, just keep the code enforcement officer informed. They love attention.
Okay.
They're kind of like my dogs.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Scott.
Thank
And
you,
is
ma'am.
there anything further to be brought before the special magistrate?
Just
No,
the
sir.
Verizon time,
What?
the Verizon time of adjournment.
Oh, well, we're just getting to that, 2:04. I put it down because I actually bill on an hourly basis and don't know. Yeah, how much do I need from Mangonia this month?